On today's episode, we talk about hiring a personal trainer, working out with injuries, and free weights. So that should be fun. And go Irish, by the way. Welcome to episode 4 of EFS TV. I'm Nathaniel Decker.
Megan Osisco.
And we're here to answer some more of your guys' questions. We got a lot of questions, again, which we're super thankful for. However, keep them coming, please. We're just here to help you guys out and provide some value for you guys. So, that being said...
Ready to get going?
I don't know if you guys caught this, but this is our water bottle. You can get one of these with a shaker ball. I just took it out because it's just water. You can get one of these by signing up for our Fit Challenge. Just throwing that out there.
Registration ends April 1st.
Awesome.
So get to it.
Cool. So with that being said, we're just going to get right into it. So question 1.
All right. Ava asks to start off, I just hired a personal trainer. How do I know if they are the real deal or not?
That's a good one and a tricky one too. And I feel like a lot of people probably have their own perspective on this one. You know, one thing that I would say, although nationally accredited certifications are very important, you need to know that your trainer knows what they're doing at the end of the day. But I buy in less to that and more to the personality of the trainer a little bit more too. Because if you find somebody that has a good personality or somebody that you mesh well with, it's going to do wonders for your consistency. You're going to actually enjoy your workouts instead of hating the person that comes to you in the first place, or maybe that you're meeting at the gym. The relationship that you build with your trainer is just as important as what they're putting into your sessions too. Now, don't get me wrong, that needs to be weighted quite a bit. You need to make sure that they're doing the right things, but the procedure that they follow is important too. Make sure they're doing a warm-up with you and a cool-down, a little bit of stretching here and there, that their programming is always changing up every 3 to 4 weeks, things like that. But what would you add to that?
I would definitely add certification is important. Obviously, there's some trainers out there who hold a really high certification but don't work well with clients, and vice versa. So that's the same thing. Personality is going to be huge. One thing I always tell my clients right off the bat is we're working on lifestyle changes. So life isn't that word. So we're doing basically life with them day to day and making sure they're on task and all that stuff. So it's got to be a good relationship between both client and trainer.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. Is the relationship. I think that's what separates a good trainer from a great trainer, I guess is my point. So if you're looking for a great trainer, which why wouldn't you be, try to find somebody that you mesh well with.
Yep, cool.
So, cool, next one.
Alrighty. Next we got Emily asks, I'm pretty intimidated when I go to the free weight area of the gym. Can I use just the machines?
That's a good question too. I am not big on machines for a lot of reasons. So my initial response would be no, you can't use just the machines. One thing that I've always made a point to let any of my clients, or really anybody that I've talked to that have asked a similar question, know is you're sitting, 9 out of 10 people are sitting most of the day while they're at work. The last thing you want to be doing is sitting more while you're working out. It doesn't activate your core at all. You need to do things that you're on your feet, you're using your core a little bit more frequently. And then also some people have the misunderstanding that machines, there's less chance you can get hurt. But believe it or not, if you don't know how to adjust that machine and how it works with your body in relation to your joints, you can actually really injure yourself on a machine as well. But what would you add to that?
I 100% agree with that. As far as getting up on your feet as much as possible, you're going to burn a lot more calories from obviously standing rather than sitting. And just, you're being functional. So sitting down is not being functional. So
right. Yeah.
Get up and get moving.
Right. And like she said, burn some extra calories. It's not going to kill you. Good.
Okay.
Question
Jonathan
3.
asks, I'm not seeing progress. What am I doing wrong?
It's a tricky one. Could be a lot of different things. It's tough to really answer that without knowing exactly what it is you're doing. So that's the important thing. You need to make sure that you're tracking your workouts from day to day. Same thing with your nutrition. And odds are, and this is something that I even catch myself doing sometimes, whenever I hit a sticking point or a plateau, I think to myself, like, all right, what am I doing wrong? Like, and it's kind of embarrassing as a trainer sometimes, where you're like, all right, what the heck am I doing?
Everyone has them though.
Exactly, yeah. And if you look at it and you write down some things, like sometimes it's your workout, sometimes it's your nutrition, sometimes it's a little bit of both. But most of the time, whenever I address my nutrition, I can write down like my last 3 or 4 days, and it's like jumping off at the page at me what I'm doing wrong. It's just really hard to keep that front of mind whenever you're thinking about your own workouts. So, what would you add to that?
I would add, checking and seeing what time of the day you're doing your workouts. So maybe you've been, hitting really hard early in the morning. Maybe let yourself sleep in a little bit, and switch it up to an evening workout. Or even look at how much sleep you actually are getting, because the recovery is going to add to that progress as well.
Right. So. No, that's a good point. And I've come across a few studies, because this is something that I looked into for a little while, whether it's more beneficial to work out in the morning or in the evening. And there's studies that support both. Your hormones are at a higher level in the morning because you just rested all night. But in the evening, typically you're a little bit stronger because you've had food throughout the day. So it really depends on what your goals are and what you're looking to do. But for weight loss, most of the time it's a little bit more beneficial to work out in the morning. Just a tip.
Yeah. Good. Alrighty. Carol asks, I have some lower back stiffness, but I haven't gone to the doctor. Should I continue my workouts?
Right away, no. You definitely should not. One thing that I would recommend doing, take a couple days just to take a rest. It's not going to set you back that far, but obviously stay accountable with what you're eating. You don't want to be eating junk for 2 days if you're taking a break. Take a couple days rest. If you're still sore, at that point you need to see your doctor before you continue anything else. That would be my advice.
Yeah, definitely no impact, no jumping movements. If anything, just some stretches to try maybe some, obviously alternating some ice and heat, and just kind of loosening it up, see if that helps with rest. But yeah, lay off the weights for sure.
Yeah, and I think that, some people will say, well, if I do upper body workouts or machines or whatever the case may be, it doesn't hurt my back. Well, literally any kind of weight training that you have is going to hurt your back. Everything is going to compress your spine a little bit, especially if you put it over your head. So make sure that you're just taking a few days, take some rest, see how it feels, and if it's still painful, we'll go to the doctor.
Yep. All right, David asks, how do I know how much weight to lift in free weight exercises?
It's a good one too. The easy thing to say would be start with whatever you're comfortable with. Depending on your rep range and what your goal is, so if you're trying to lose weight, obviously you're going to be doing more reps. Make sure that you're using a weight that you're comfortable doing 12 to 15 reps with. If you're trying to bulk and gain a little bit of weight, 6 to 8 reps, but make sure obviously, again, you can complete those reps without a ton of struggle, especially in the beginning. I think that the biggest thing that people have issues with is they think like, all right, I'm going to do, let's just say a flat dumbbell press for chest, for instance. A good starting point for a male usually is around like 35, 40 pounds. But if that's really easy for you, that doesn't mean that you should jump to 65 pounds to see if you can do it. You need to focus on your form, make sure that you're practicing that, get the motion down and the movement down, and make sure that you just go up in like 5 or 10 pound increments. You don't need to double the weight just because you think you can.
Yeah, and I think that could be sometimes a huge problem for people, because they think, okay, 12, for female, 10s or 12s are too easy, and then they jump to 15s or 20s right away, but then the following week they're extremely sore and they don't end up doing anything. So there you go. I've hit a point where I'm uninterested now because I'm just too sore to work out.
Right, and you're taking a lot of progression out of your workouts that way too. It's going to be impossible to progress through, progressive overload and adding more weights to your exercises. If you're jumping up so far, then what are you going to do over the next few weeks? Because your body's just going to be adapting to the weight that you jump to so quickly. So
definitely.
Awesome. Well, that wraps up today's show. Hopefully you guys enjoy the answers that we gave to those. And again, keep those questions coming. I can't stress that enough. We do have a lot of fun answering these. It's funny because sometimes we obviously align, kind of talk about what we're going to be, how we're going to be answering these first. And it's good because it sparks some thought on our end. A lot of times when we get to working with clients for a little while, we can dodge a lot of these problems because that's our job. But we want to help people that don't necessarily work with a trainer and need answers to these questions. So
yeah, I completely agree. Don't forget, Fit Challenge. You can get one of these free bottles. Registration ends April 1st. Sign up, guys.
Awesome. See you soon.